Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you 8 simple and affordable tips and tricks to take your next backpacking meal to the next level. Stay tuned. Today we're finally going to talk about my favorite topic, food. Yay! Okay, this is part 1 of a 3-part segment talking about food. So this episode is going to be about tips and tricks to help you maximize what you got and small and affordable things you can find. And the second episode is going to talk about alternative food choices and just things out of the ordinary, so you don't have to be stuck eating boring processed food all the time. And the third episode, I will be going through food recipes and showing you how to make some creative backpacking meals. And if you haven't subscribed, I really hope you subscribe, and you can see me do all these tips and tricks and recipes on the Appalachian Trail starting in 10 days. Can you believe it, guys? It's 10 days away. I'm so excited. Okay, when I used to work in the food industry, I used to work as a caterer and in banquet kitchens. So I would do a lot of on-site cooking, and in working and catering and these types of events, you would have to bring everything with you. So what we would do is, no matter how big the party was, either you're cooking for 300 people or 3,000 people, we would only bring 2 carts of equipment to use. In terms of equipment and gear use, we will only bring that. So it's all about efficiency. And the number one thing to remember about efficiency is cross-utilization. And that may sound like a fancy term, but all that means is that whatever food and ingredients that you bring, you just have to make sure that you can use it in other places. So, for example, I love bringing peanut butter. So this is, sometimes I'll bring it in powdered form, and you can bring the Justin's peanut butter. So sometimes I would bring it like that, and then I wouldn't put it with the meal itself. I'd keep it separate. Cross-utilization is the number one reason why I don't package certain foods all together. It's only because so I can use peanut butter in my oatmeal, I can use it for desserts, and I can also use it when I make Thai noodles or some sort of peanut butter noodles. And so, it's that kind of versatility that you're looking for in your ingredients. And number two is maximizing your insulation. So if you haven't decided to bring a cozy, it's a good idea to bring one. It'll save you time and fuel. This one is my cozy. I'm bringing one. I know that some of you guys do freezer bag cooking. I don't particularly like eating out of the freezer bag, so I have made one that can go around my pot and lid. Alright, so I made this out of the car sunshade. Okay. So if you guys are bringing a cozy, that's great. But what you can also do is double layer your cozy. So the last cozy I made, I didn't particularly like. It was out of the hot and cold bag, so I decided to make a new one. And I took the top lid for the old one and I put it inside of here. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so essentially on the bottom, there's about 1.5 layers because the hot cold bag is significantly thinner than this car reflect material. And then I also made a lid that, as you can see here, this part is fairly long, and when I put it over this, it'll essentially be a double layered insulation. So if you're already bringing a cozy, this isn't that much weight to add on. This is practically weightless. And then to add another layer on that, it's just very minimal. So it's a very effective and minimal way to maximize what you got. And the reason why you should double layer your insulation is so that you can cook more food. Foods that one, typically take longer to cook, and two, the foods that you already cook in your cozy can be cooked twice as fast. So instead of waiting 20 minutes for your rice sides to cook, you can wait 10 minutes. So double duty. And speaking of being able to cook more things, number 3, scratch. So you see the rice sides, the rice-a-roni, any of that sort of foods, you're actually cooking from scratch. They're not doing anything different to the rice before they put it in the package. So they would use the parboiled rice and then mix it with spices and sometimes pasta. So you are already cooking from scratch. You can cook a variety of grains and pasta, and especially with this new maximized version of your installation, it'll take less time. So something that would typically take 20 minutes can take 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes. Number 4 is use concentrates. And what that means is that you can get flavor and spices in a concentrated form that's shelf stable and lightweight to carry. Some of these will be in a paste, and they're already vacuum sealed in a plastic bag. This is the variety I have on hand. There's some Indian curry mix and a Japanese curry mix. This is the heaviest concentrate out of all of them because this one does come in blocks like chocolate, but they're all not this heavy. And if you love Thai food like me, here's some tom yum soup mix and the coconut version of that. And there's some satay seasoning I picked up, which is great for just adding into anything. But if you want powdered form, there's also choices from there, and they're completely versatile. Gravies, mixes, and soup mixes. You can use them in a variety of dishes. So here are a few things I found at the grocery store the other day. Wasabi powder is great added into mashed potatoes. And on the other side we have various amounts of soup and stir-fry mixes. And Chana Masala here is a seasoning you can use to make really delicious lentil stew in about 10 to 15 minutes. So really quick trail food. And also coming up we have a pho mix. You can just use that with any noodles really. And coconut powder is delicious. And this is a soup and stir fry, so it's a multi-use seasoning, and I find a lot of them to also be multi-use seasonings, so have fun with what you find. In the third video, I'll show you how to make a creamy chicken and dumpling soup with country gravy mix. Number 5 is use a wider base pot. So this is the pot I'm bringing on my through hike. And I want to show you a comparison with, this is my Snow Peak 900. This is 1.3 liters and this is 900 milliliters. When you have a wider base pot, more water is in contact with the metal and therefore it'll boil faster. Number 7, this one only pertains to either through hikers or hikers who do need to do resupplies, and that is to rotate your pantry and ingredients. Remember how number 1 I talked about cross utilization? So you would group them in similar flavor profiles. Just rotate them so that you don't get bored. Number 7 is I want to talk to you, give you a tip on how to cook with these backpacking pots. That the metal is just really thin, especially when it comes to titanium. I know that a lot of people have a hard time cooking on it, so most people just boil water in it, but you can cook in titanium. And a tip is to put your fat in the pan while it's cold. So put the oil in the pan first before you put your food, and then put it on the stove. And what this will do is that as the metal heats up, oil will stick to the pan better. And number 8, if you happen to burn your food in the pan, there's a solution. when you get into town, buy a box of baking soda, and it's cheap. It's only a few cents, less than $1. So what you would do is soak it in a baking soda and water paste overnight, and in the morning you just scrub it off. And if you happen to burn it really badly, I would suggest that when you get to a hostel or somewhere you can't turn on the stove, is to boil baking soda and water together and then let it cool down completely and then scrub it off. So that's it for backpacking hacks. Make sure you stay tuned to check out the next video on backpacking food ideas. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And if this video was helpful to you in any way, please like this video. And if you have any questions or any suggestions, please leave a comment below. Okay, until next time, bye!